In this video, we're going to be taking a look at how you choose a topic for a personal narrative. And your goal for today, when you come to class, is you want to be able to choose a topic and also generate ideas about your topic. Now, what I want you to do is get out your practice companion book and look at the writing model on page 84 titled Meeting Karam. And what I want you to do is read through this writing model on page 84. And also, as you're reading through this writing model on page 84, I want you to answer these questions that are in your notes. So first of all, as you're reading through, think about what real-life experience did the author choose to write about in Meeting Karam. Now, it's important to know that whenever you're writing a personal narrative, that you choose a subject that you care about. You'll be able to see this in the writing model, because when you care about a subject, you're more interested in writing and you are better able to communicate your enthusiasm to your readers as opposed to one that you really don't care about. And then finally, how did the writer show his interest in the narrative? So I want you to read through the writing model and then answer these two questions in your notes. Now, along with answering these questions in your notes, I want you to answer these three questions as well, comparing these questions to that writing model, and think about, why do you think the author chose this topic for a personal narrative? Why is meeting Karam or a new friend a good topic for a personal narrative? And then, can you make any connections to the experience the author describes, and when have you felt the same way? Okay, so thinking about these questions and answering these questions will also help you as you begin to generate some ideas and topics about your personal narrative. Now, this part of the video, we're going to talk about generating some ideas about your topic. Okay, now it's really important to know that a personal narrative needs to be something that you have experienced. This is not a fiction type story or an adventure type story. Unless your personal narrative is an adventure, that's completely fine, but it's not something that you've completely made up. It's something that you have experienced before. And like I said before, it's important to know that the best topic is one you really care about and one you want to share with your readers. Okay, just because you care about a topic doesn't mean you're always going to want to share it with your readers. So it needs to have those two key features: one that you care about and also one that you want to share with other people. Okay, now let's go over how you generate some ideas for your topic. Now, what I want you to do is think about some things that you've gone through, and then when I'm generating some ideas, for example, I know that we've been reading in our reading time about common ground, and when I think about this idea, I think about people who I've met that are different from me. And the first idea that kind of comes to my mind was a trip I took with a relative. However, I cannot generate enough passion, or I don't really care to share that with anybody, so I'm not going to really write it down in my list. Okay. However, one thing that I can think of is a time that I met someone from another culture. I was able to help them kind of adapt to our culture, okay, or to the culture that I was a part of. And then I think of some other things of traveling with someone who was older or younger was something that I was thinking about. Also, there was a time when I was able to communicate with someone who was speaking another language. That was an interesting idea for me. Okay, and then I remember helping out a friend one time learn about the classroom, neighborhood, and community. So those are some of the topics that I'm thinking about, topics that I really care about, and that I also want to share with my readers. So what I want you to do is make a list of topics. It does not have to necessarily go along with the ones that I have, just ones that you specifically care about. And then after you're done with that, what I want you to do is rate your topics on a scale from 1 to 5. Okay, now 5 being very interested and 1 not being very interested at all. Okay, for example, if I was listing my topics, alright, I would just list my topics just like I have here, and then let's say meeting someone from another culture, I think about what actually happened there. I could say, that was more like a 2. Okay, traveling with someone who was older or younger, I really enjoyed that. I'm going to say 5. Communicating with someone who speaks another language, I'm going to say 3 for that one. And then finally, helping someone learn about the classroom, neighborhood, or community, I'm going to say 5 there. Okay, now these are some possible topics you may want to list as well. Okay, that maybe even spark some ideas for you, but you can see the exercise in that I've listed my topics and I've also rated them on a scale of 1 to 5. Okay, so when you come to class tomorrow, this is going to be your task. You're going to want to brainstorm a list of possible topics, and then the topics you choose may be funny, exciting, happy, surprising, or serious. Whatever you would like to choose the topic on is completely fine. Remember, it has to be something that you experience, though. And then after that, you will want to rate your list. And then you're going to collaborate with the people that are in your group and ask them what they think about your topic, which one they think is interesting, and get their opinion on it as well. Okay, so that's going to be your task when you come into writing tomorrow. Now, another part that is very important is the conference time you'll be having with me. Okay, and it's important that you're prepared when I come to conference with you, because you won't have much time with me. However, it's going to be very concentrated and very specific on what I want to talk with you about. So during that time, you need to be prepared, because I want to meet with you to talk about the topics you're considering. Okay, and I'm going to also ask you why each topic is special. So you'll need to think about why the topics are special to you, and not because it's just something that you could think up in your mind. And then also think about any questions that you might have about the process of writing a personal narrative. It can be anything, does not have to just solely focus on generating a topic or choosing a topic. And just remember, it's really important as we come to class tomorrow that you are ready to conference with me, and I'll be looking forward to hearing all about your topics.